All right, let's get the party started because I want to be respectful of all your times. I know that it's probably a busy night for a lot of you. So before we get going, I just want to say something really quick that I've been thinking about. We, as a company, as leaders, we throw the word mentor around a lot. It's great for edification. A lot of us do have amazing mentors. But one thing that I have learned is what a mentor is. So if you have a pen and paper, write this down. And any mentor in your life, they have to fit in all of three of these categories. They have to have done what you are wanting to do. Number one, they have to have already done it. Number two, they have to still be doing it. It can't be in whatever in the past, they have to still be doing it. And number three, this one might come out of left field, but it matters. Their beliefs have to align with yours. And so if you have a mentor that fits all three of those categories, then you have found a good one. And I feel really, really blessed to call Mr. Jake Spencer one of my mentors and also one of my friends. You guys, we are 28 days. I have a countdown. We are 28 days away from the biggest event in Q Science's history. And I'm pumped. It's all I'm talking about. It's all I want to talk about. It's going to be huge. If you don't have your ticket yet, by the end of this call, you will have yours. Mark my words. But it's coming up. It's coming fast. And I want you guys to understand how big of a deal this is, how special it's going to be. And so there is literally nobody better to have this chat with than our president, our co-owner, Mr. Jake Spencer. You guys, what he has done in this industry, what he has done with this company, who he is to so many of us is so special. I don't know if you can imagine running a company the way he does, accomplishing all that he has, while also being a busy dad of 4 kids. And speaking of those amazing 4 kids, I'm so grateful that we get some of his time tonight because he does have to run off to his son's football practice. Because life goes on outside of business, right? We're all there. So anyways, Jake, thank you so much for giving us your time. I'm so grateful for you and I'm so pumped that you're here. I think you're here.
I am.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. Just came home to change before I head out to the 3rd night of official football practice that's starting. So tonight is the contact night where the boys get to hit each other. So I have a little boy out there and he thinks it's Christmas time right now. Like he is so excited. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you for, asking me to be on. I was just actually going through my text messages and I just received a text from Jamie. I see Jamie on here to do these before we get to convention. So first off, I gotta say, most importantly, thank you all for being on here. It's a very crazy time. We'll talk about that in a bit. But it means a lot that you're taking time out of your busy schedule, your night, time with kids, dinner, house chores, dealing with high maintenance husbands like my wife does, whatever it is, to, I guess, have a little chat. We understand the challenging times and we're excited about where we're going, but we know we wouldn't be in this opportunity to go where we're going without you guys. So thank you for that. Second off, I know there's a lot of council members on here and probably one of the top 2 things of importance for me in this company is those 2 councils. And so I want to thank you all, the advisory and equity who are on here. I'm excited to recognize all of you who have served this year on equity at our upcoming convention and also who are currently serving, but also our advisory council for being the pillars that you guys are. It doesn't mean that life doesn't affect you. It doesn't mean that you're invincible or you're Marvel characters, even though some of you think you are. It just means that you are held to a higher standard to help this company go at the pace that we're actually going. I try to text back and forth with leaders. I was texting with Britt today And obviously, I know Gabby, you guys are on here. Congratulations on your recent promotion. And then, like, what, 20 minutes ago, I was on Facebook with Jen Rankins and her new promotion and commenting on that. Yes, Jen, if you do this correctly and apply what I'm about to say, your business will double at convention. And I'm excited because one thing I like to do is kind of know who's really putting in that time and work. Another couple people, I was talking with Chris and Wyatt, Caitlin Reddick and Lindsay. I'm excited for you guys. If they're dropping you guys' names, it's people that I tend to try to watch and get ready to see if we can pull you guys up into Equity Council. As Claudia is on here, it tells you the power of Equity Council being that you can be in for a couple of months and already have your opinions heard in this company and help direct it. And I'm excited for you guys. You know, I gotta tell you, today was a crazy day at corporate. Sometimes you just have crazy days, and it was crazy in the absolute best ways because we were going over our convention. And let me tell you what that consists of. You ready for this? This might be a kind of behind the scenes look. We go over every aspect. We look at all the positive that's happened at conventions, and we also look at all the challenges that we've encountered at conventions. And how can we accentuate the positives? So let's talk about a couple positives. We had a really good experience with our store. And there's a reason why I'm telling you guys this. Just trust me, you can learn a lot from it. So we decided to double down on the investment of the store, not just the space of the store, but the activities that you're going to be having in the store, from games and giveaways and cash, sporting events, trial and error type things, experiences inside the store. Recognition is going to be double. You're going to see so much more recognition in the store. And many of your names who are on here will be on many huge wall-to-wall banners for your achievements, even at Builder, Pro, and Executive on both sides of the comp plan. You're going to see recognition now with people who've been here for a matter of years, regardless of what rank they are. That's going to be enhanced. It's going to be absolutely, absolutely incredible. The store is going to be extended hours because of what we're releasing, hint, hint, hint. It's going to be, it's awesome. That's been a positive. But a challenge at the store has been the checkout process. So to see these guys today come up with a whole new checkout process from swag and product. And because we've gotten to be so large, FedEx is now coming to our convention and setting up their own booth. And now you can just walk over to FedEx and ship all your stuff home and not have to carry it to your hotel room or into the convention hall or do whatever you want to do to make the process more simple and streamlined. We want to get better, right? We talked about convention as far as Wi-Fi and connections and launching of products. This time at convention, guess what we've decided to do? From 9 a.m. to 12 on Friday, it's all the announcements of the company, international expansion. And I got to tell you, if you're taking notes, you should be reaching out to Thierry and or Jim because we made an offer last night to the international markets to come to convention that's going to blow your mind. Do you want to hear it? So if you're in Canada, Europe, or Australia, check this out. If you come to convention, you can now get the VIP experience for $100. Also, when you come to convention, after you check in, the very next week, I bonus you $500 in cash to help offset hotel, food, and expenses. If you're in Japan, guess what Japan's doing? You ready for this? I'm paying for their hotels, and I'm giving them $1,500 towards convention and VIP tickets. That's how important we're making the convention for you guys who have international teams. You should be thinking about that. That tells you where our focus is as owners and extra income and resources we're putting towards a life-changing experience. To say it cliche, to change our world. That's big. Guess what else we talked about? Compensation plan. We can't have a convention, right, without some comp plan enhancements. I mean, that would mean that Jake Spencer's getting really bored. Can you believe that? Like, that would be like, oh, Jake must be golfing a lot with his friends. Yes, we're having a comp plan enhancement. Yes, we're going to do some cool bonus promos for convention. I think by the raise of hands, who is enjoying our promos this month for the month of July? Yes, right? Guess what else? Guess what? Look at all these hand raises. I love it. I love it. Guess what else? We had an in-depth discussion because of the pressure of the world today about what we're going to do with Q Science's enrollment fee going forward from September on. Told you enhancements are coming. We also had an in-depth discussion about what? Removing shipping costs for our preferred customers. Making it so a customer, it is a complete no-brainer to try the best products in the entire world. And I thought to myself, because someone said, well, wouldn't the ambassadors get mad if they didn't get free shipping or they didn't want to enroll on that fee? And I said, well, if an ambassador would get mad that we made their opportunity more sexy and attractive, then they should go join Amway. That's where they should join, is they should go join a dinosaur company and tell me how they like it over there. It's going to be awesome stuff. We talked about the flow because all that's happening Friday. Guess what? That means you have more time in the store. So then from Friday at 2, all the rest of the convention is training by actually some of the people who are on here today with you. Isn't it amazing? Good stuff happened today. Now, here's why I want to talk to you about this for just for a second. Now, I got home, I talked to my wife, and then I kind of talked to her about the discussion I had with the councils this week. So, how many people on here? And maybe I better not say this. Let's see how many people on here. Oh, crap. That's a lot of people. Okay, so let's pretend that this next talk didn't happen, but let's pretend that it did. You know what I mean? So let's just have a little quick chat about everything. So there's leaders, and you go through phases of your life, parenting, business, career, whatever it's going to be. Then there's transitional leaders, and they're transitioning to a new space. I want to pinpoint 2 things about transitional leadership, okay? The first thing I want to pinpoint is what's happening in our world today. Now, I know many of you may not be paying attention because for a long time in my life, I did pay attention. And that is today in America, they just raised our interest rates again by 75 basis points. That's 7.75%. Okay? Did you guys notice what happened with Walmart over the weekend? What did they just report? A loss. Did you guys see what happened on Amazon Day or Prime Day? A loss. Did you guys see what Freddie Mae and Fannie Mac said, or those guys said today? 22-year low for mortgage applications for the month of July. Gas prices, food. Now, I know none of you are ever not going to feel bad for me, okay? But I have not forgotten where I came from and how I was raised. So I'm going to say this because I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way. But every once in a while, stuff like this happens and sets you and transitional leaders up for decades. I just received the first charges for my children going back to school in 3 weeks. And you're thinking, what is he talking about? Yes, fees for classes, art supplies, all this stuff. And I'll tell you, it was bigger than the number that I don't even look on my credit card statement. So I have a number. If the number's below that number, I don't care what it is. If it's over that number, I'm like, what? And I saw those 3 charges hit. And then I read a recent letter. And because of the food prices, guess what our school district in Utah just announced? They raised the lunch almost $1.05 per student. Now you're thinking that's not that big a deal. Oh, yes, it is, especially when you have 2 or 3 children, 5 days a week getting lunch every single day. They also decided in our school district to eliminate free breakfast. Now, we haven't even got into sports or athletics. And you're like, well, you're a multi-millionaire. No. These are the things that I pay attention to in terms of business to know when I should hoard my income and get ready to buy things on pennies on the dollar, because these times rarely come. It's real, you guys. You're seeing it happen all over. And it's not going to be like a cleanse that happens in a 6-month period of time. I'll tell you, as a businessman, this is going to be something that we're going to encounter for at least 3 years. It's going to take 3 years. Now, what can you do about it? That's the key. I mean, have you guys ever seen people who are like, oh, I'm going to save my way out of debt? It doesn't happen. In fact, I'll tell you, as a leadership talk we're having tonight, I see people in Q Sciences who try to save all their people and think they can save their way to the top of the company. When in reality, we're all given the same opportunity, the same comp plan, same products, and you just have to find the people eventually like you. Find, and I said eventually, you might find someone quick. It may take you another year to find someone else. It may take you 3 more years to find your third person like you. That's the name of the game, is finding. But see, someone asked me a question over the weekend, and I got asked in Japan. And I'm going to tell you why I had this conversation with the leaders. You all have until the first or second quarter of next year to get yourself ahead of the masses. Look, you're going to learn all about the products at convention. You're going to see the doctors there, the medical board, some of our vendors are coming. It'll be the greatest thing. We're enhancing that in the store. It's going to be amazing. You won't see me there, but you can go there. I'll be playing pickleball and ping pong in the VIP section and beating Nick and Dwayne in laser tag. Like, it's going to be a great time. But I tell you this because what can you do? You have till the end of the first quarter of next year before the masses really feel the pinch. Now, I'm going to warn you, you're going to see it in the retail season. Those of you who are out school shopping, you're seeing major discounts on clothing because of the backlog is now full and our ports are full with clothes and apparel, and Walmart and Nordstrom's, they're not even taking the stuff in because they can't get rid of the stuff that they have. I'm telling you this for a reason, because this is the talks that I had with people like Britt, who made, I think she might even be getting an award for $2 million or something at this upcoming convention. These are the talks that they have with me in my G-Wagon when we're driving back from the lodge. When Kristen Wyatt's posting those pictures of Utah mountains, that's at my kitchen table. This is how we talk about it. This happened to us in 2008. And my mentor with money told me, he goes, you probably only have 1, maybe 2 of these situations in your lifetime. Folks, listen to this. You'll probably have this situation once, maybe twice in your lifetime. I'm fortunate to now have experienced this twice in my lifetime, because when it happened in 2008, we compounded our wealth to give us more time freedom with our kids, to travel, help out family, help people in need, because the timing and the preparation before it actually hit. See, you're not going to be prepared unless you go get trained. Being prepared, you actually have to put work into being prepared. You can't just think about it. You actually have to do something about it. And the first quarter of next year, in the second quarter, you're going to see a lot of stuff hit the market. It'll be a chance for you to grow your wealth. Yes, and somebody like, well, I'm just part-time, spare time, and I'm just looking for a couple extra $100 a month. That's incredible. Q gives you that opportunity. But what if instead of a couple extra $100 a month, if you prepared correctly, you're making a couple $1,000s a month by that time? What would an extra $24,000, $28,000 a year do for you all of next year when you know that assets next year are going to be for pennies on the dollar? Wait till you see what happens to cars in 2023. Wait till you see what happens to all these Airbnbs and all these people who bought all that stuff on this huge craze, and they have mortgages that are beyond their eyes, they can't even see it. But when people stop traveling and the money, how do they afford all those rentals? What if a couple of you actually were transitional leaders and got together, 3 or 4 of you guys, and actually pulled some money and became partners, actually, because you're not going to get wealthy with what I pay you. You're going to get wealthy with what you do with what I pay you. That's your responsibility. I'm not responsible. I don't got time for that. I'm trying to keep the company going so you guys can learn the principles of success to apply what you learned here to be successful outside of Q. Being successful inside of Q is like not even half the story. It's like a blip. It's a blip. Life success is what proves to be the hardest thing even in Q. I mean, think about it. Leaders have trouble in life and marriage and it knocks them out of the box. Q is easy. This is a game. It's a game. So why am I telling you this? Because this upcoming convention, you got to be a transitional. You got to transition. How do you transition? Ready? Point number one. You stop thinking about I and me. I and me can't be a part of your vocabulary. No great leader in the history of time ever has made decisions on what's best for them as a person. Because then you're jaded and you view things through a lens that is always dirty. Let me tell you something, which I probably shouldn't say, but it's okay. I'll give you a hug at convention. Isn't it interesting when people think they're struggling in Q and then they quit, and then you realize why people were never blessed into their leadership? And I thank him for not sending tons of people to that person's way because they were never committed in the first place. Because the first blip, they quit and left. Why would we ruin thousands of people's hopes and dreams as someone who isn't even committed? That's an I and me leader. Of course, they're not going to have people like you to lead, because why would he entrust people with people he knows who are going to squander an opportunity? So when you're transitional, guess what happens? You plan things out. So let me ask you some questions. Do you know where you're staying? Have you planned it out? Have you figured out a way to cut costs for those working moms and those moms and fathers who need this more than ever, but maybe they're a couple $100s short? Have you guys figured out how to have cheap food? I can't tell you how many times at conventions, my wife and I provided pizza. We didn't care. We were there to change people's lives. We didn't need a seven course meal. We needed full bellies so we could pay attention to the speakers on stage. Have you planned this thing out? Have you planned extra recognition for the people who aren't speaking on stage? What if your builder or pro is going and they need a little bit of recognition? Have you gone into the store and found their name and taken a picture with them to remind them that they've accomplished things that most people will only dream of? Oh, wow. Have you prepared people about what's going to happen with the launches of our products and the comp plan enhancements and the bonuses? To say, hey, listen, don't spend a bunch of money on things that aren't necessity, because you're going to have tools to build your business. Just like you need a hammer and nails to build a home, you're going to have some stuff in order to grow some stuff. I mean, I showed you yesterday. Why are we adding an extra layer to our collagen distribution side? Because who wants to take a bottle and a spoon? It's not shareable. It's easy if it's in a sachet to throw it in your purse, to throw it in your bag and share. Why? Because sharing creates conversation. So you got to have these upfront talks. Do you really need to go on the 11th trip and have 5 canceled flights? Or can you save some of that money for your future and your grandkids and get some tools at convention? Part of being a transitional leader is setting people free. I said this last night on the call to Canada. You want to know something crazy? My sister-in-law joined the business a couple of days before me. When I joined, she came and got me started. She taught me the comp plan. Guess what else she did? She helped me get my first couple of customer accounts. 3 days later, she came and told the story of the company and got me my first 2 partners in the business. She was not even at a paid rank. She became a in transition leader because she had to. The next person closest to us was 2 hours away. 45 days in, we were both going to Detroit, Michigan. Neither of us had even gotten a check yet. We came home from convention and she had a $37 check waiting for her. I had no money yet. Can you believe that? Good. Guess what happened at convention? She got a Jake Spencer to convention at 21 years old and let the convention change me. I found unknowing courage to attack my speech impediment. The feeling that I had inside, I knew where that feeling was. Some of you don't know where that feeling comes from, but be around Q long enough with faith, you'll figure it out. Hint. And I had never felt that before. And I felt like, wow, like I'm warm and I got like chicken skin all the time. Like somebody was telling me, this is your chance to do big things. I'll never forget that feeling. I remember texting about it. I'm like, this is crazy. Man, if I felt this way in church, I'd probably go once in a while. It was nuts. And then I came home, and because I had gone through transition, my business exploded. But someone got me there who wasn't even making money yet. Why are you underselling your ability to get people to go with you to change their life? Why do you think you need Brittany or a Paige or a Kristen Wyatt or a Jamie or a Brandon? They're overrated. No one believes their stories anyway. Hey, I want to put you on the phone with Brittany and she makes a couple $100,000 a month. Well, why is she talking to me? I can't even get a couple $100,000 in my life. Who's going to believe that when all we're hearing is what's happening in the world? Oh, I want to put you on the phone with this lady. She's been in for like 4 or 5 years. And who's going to believe that Kristen Wyatt story anymore? It's not even moving anymore. What's the most powerful story is you. You deciding to do something positive when the rest of the world's waiting for something to happen to them. You go happen to them. That's what a transitional leader does. So point number 2, after planning. So point 3, you got to have conversations with people. You can't text them. Now, you wouldn't text your wife or spouse to break up. Some of you wish you could, but you wouldn't. You actually have to talk to people. You have to hear their emotion. And that's when you get better, because it's about them. Their situation is different than yours. Maybe they're struggling financially. Maybe there's a lack of self-belief. Maybe there's some insecurities. Maybe they weren't launched the correct way. So maybe you've got to take a few blows to the face about learning better leadership and communication. Better communication may even teach you a few things about your relationship at home by talking to teammates. Like, hey, like, I'm not great at communication. Like my teammates, you can learn a lot about
then. Don't take them out
and
of
what
the tub.
you're not providing.
Through the house.
Go Sarah Hicks. By what you're not providing, by talking to your team. Can you believe that? Now I get like, oh my gosh, that's so much work. And do you know what else is a lot of work? You ready for this? Are you really ready? Let's cheers. This is what's a lot of work to me. Hold on. A lot of work to me is having to say no your whole life and figuring out excuses or reasons why you always have to say no all the time. And the anxiety and stress that comes from those no's is debilitating. No, you can't go to that camp. No, we can't do that. We still got medical debt. No, we can't do that. We made some bad choices 10 years ago. No, you can't have that home. We're staying in this zip code. No, you can't go to that school. No, you can't go to Paris. No, you can't go with your friends. No, you can't have that couch. No, you can't have that car. No, 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 no. Woo, daddy. That's stress. That's hard. Do you know what's fun? Is providing a playing field for your team to win and letting them decide how much they want. I'll tell you, I just got sick of hearing no my whole life. I got to tell you something funny. No one knows this but my wife. I came home tonight. She's making some crazy dish for my son. And it's like some rice, noodle, shrimp, Asian meal. It's like I didn't have enough Asian food last week in Japan. Thanks, Sarah. Like, it's the way it is. Don't judge me. But do you know what I thought? Do you know what automatically came back to my mind? when I was a little boy and I was at a New Year's Eve party. I think I was 12 or 10, and I saw shrimp for the very first time. At that New Year's Eve party, I saw guacamole and shrimp for the very first time in my life. I will never forget this. I didn't know what it was, so I tried it. I liked it. I didn't know it wasn't the meal, so I just ate as much of the shrimp as I could eat. And I kept dipping the Tostitos. This was way before the scoops, guys. Like, trust me, I've got gray hair. I kept eating all this, and I got so sick. And I looked at my plate, and there was a couple shrimp left and on there. And I looked down. I looked at my mom. I was waiting, because you know what she's gonna say? How dare you waste food?
Go.
And so I didn't know what to do. So I kept trying to eat it, and she came over and did exactly what I was afraid of. Do you know how much that cost? I never buy that. That's like a $2 or $3 a piece. Like, what are you doing? We're never going to be invited back here again. But that's how we were conditioned. Heck no, we're never getting shrimp. An avocado? Give me a freaking break. You think I'm joking? I'm not playing around. I had simple goals. I was sick of ordering food, looking to the right side of the menu, and deciding what I was going to eat based on what the cost was. I was tired of it. That's all I heard. And the transformational time that's about to hit is for transitional leaders who are about to commit. You will never see this time in Q Sciences ever again. Not that the company won't be aggressive, not that the company won't be creative, not that the company won't continue to innovate, but the outside pressure of what's happening in our world today is creating this hyper momentum valve that's about to erupt. I try not to say anything, but I find it fun that this month, our enrollments up from last month are up 170%. When all other companies, regardless of what they're saying, if they want to be truthful, they're down 20 to 25%. We're doing this for a reason. If I just get 2 of you, 3 of you, to believe for a second that Britt's not that special, that Kristen's not that special, I win the game. Because when I found them, they didn't believe they were special. They didn't believe they'd be here. They didn't believe they'd be on our councils. They didn't believe they're going to have the bank accounts that they actually had. Next week, Paige Champagne trains our councils next Tuesday, August 2nd, in case you forgot, Paige. And Paige and I had a situation over a year ago. And at that time, I guarantee you, Paige wouldn't have believed that she would be where she is today. Can you believe that? Somebody knew that they could be great. Who do you think you could inspire if you just get past yourself finally and start believing in your ability to actually grow people? Can you believe that? Like, I believe in you. I don't know what you're waiting for, actually. I know these people individually, and I can say what I say because they've become family friends to me. Those people's names that I mentioned, they could call me at any time. Paige was texting me last night at something like 11:45 at night. That's the type of relationship that we have. I hope you have that relationship with people to where they know that you can take them to where they need to go. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm excited to see you guys. The CEO call is going to be a very special call next Monday. I promise you that. And we're going to ramp it up. And I hopefully you guys take advantage of these promos, because not all of them are scheduled to extend in August. but I hope you fight like crazy to give me a compelling reason to extend everything to the month of August, knowing that we also have goodies coming at convention. Could you imagine what your Christmas could be like if we all go to war together? Turn it back to you, Britt.
Thanks, Jake. I appreciate you so much. I don't know if you guys have the same feeling that I do, but I have this it's like in your bones every single time you hear him speak. I don't have words. I'm so grateful. I don't know any other owners that really level with you like that and are transparent like that and let you in on their life like that. In the comments, I saw someone say that they're done with saying no. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, I am reading the book F Yourself right now, and it has changed me in a couple days. And one of the things that I read yesterday was about whether you're willing or unwilling, and they're both just as powerful. You could be willing to do something, decide that you're willing to do something. But for me, it reminded me of when I started Q. I became unwilling to say no. I became unwilling to allow my phone to shut off ever again. I became unwilling to worry about the lights being on or the water being on or paying for dog food. I was unwilling to ever deal with those things ever again. And that's what sparked the change. And you guys, I know that a lot of you, if not all of you, most of you, everyone should, we all hold Jake in this high regard, right? He is the president of our company. He is the co-owner of the company. What he has accomplished in business is mind-blowing. I hope to accomplish a quarter of what he has done. It's wild. But did you hear what he said? Someone took him to his first convention. They took him. They didn't invite him. They took him. They put him in their car and took him. He hadn't made $1 yet. He hadn't made a dang dollar from that business. But that first convention, getting him there, look what has happened from that. Look at who he is. Look at his life. Like, if that doesn't just put things into major perspective for you, I don't know what will. We need to get people there. We don't need to just invite them. We need to take people with us because of what you just heard. So even though we released Jake, we're not done. So if you guys saw the live that I did in Q News a couple weeks ago, I tried desperately to try to get my friend Katie Bristow on with me, and I couldn't figure out how to do it because I think that the stories that have come out of convention are so powerful. We can talk about how important it is to be there, but the stories of what has actually happened, like Jake's story, those speak for themselves. And so you guys, I have my friend Katie Bristow on here. She is a platinum leader here. She has no previous network marketing experience. She has never done this. She didn't transfer from another company. She's a traditional business owner. Her and her husband own the largest CrossFit gym, I think, in Idaho. What they have done is amazing. So Katie, if you're on, will you unmute and share what this has done for you and your team?
Yes, thank you, Britt. What an honor. I'm like, how do I follow Jake Spencer? This is going to be a letdown. No, I'm just kidding. But just feel so honored to get to just chat with you guys for a couple minutes of, really what convention has meant for us. Like Britt shared, we came into Q Sciences with no industry experience and have been able to build this business brick by brick, but also event to event. Marielle Filipponi is the person who brought me into this business. I'm actually sitting in her office. If those of you who recognize that, we're here going to Silver Summit tomorrow with some of our leaders. And really the one story that I wanted to share with you, it's really ironic. Maybe even a sign that I get to share because she's actually up here at Silver Summit too as one of our newest silvers on our team. But guys, she's here with someone on her team as well. And so to backtrack about a year, those of you who know Lauren Paz, she goes by Lolo for short, but she joined Q Sciences about 45 days before convention a year ago. So some of you guys, pop in the chat box if you've joined in the last 45 days, the last, 30 to 60 days. This is literally Lo a year ago. And I remember saying to her, okay, we have this event coming up. You got to attend it with us. It's what we do. We go to events. You have to see the big picture. You have to meet the people. You have to, share hugs and handshakes and meet Jake and meet Mark and experience the 5Fs, experience the culture of Q. And she was like, yeah, maybe. She wasn't sold. And we got Lo to the event. But what was crazy was she trusted me enough when I said, Lo, you don't want to just get to the event with yourself. You want to bring someone with you. Because I knew she had some financial goals in this business to make up a check. And so I said, Lo, how many people, if you could dream up any number in 45 days between now and convention, how many people would you want to bring? And she said 5. Which I was not about to discredit. I knew we needed about 15. But she said, if I can get 5 people, I would be doing backflips. I would be so excited. I've never been to an event with anyone with me on my team. So we just got to work. We put our heads down and we worked her business, guys. And what was crazy was she showed up to convention with 12 people with her. She had joined the business 45 days prior. Some of you are thinking, I just joined, who's going to go with me? I'm telling you, the people who are partnering with you right now will be the ones that actually show up. Even people who had joined within a week prior, bought a plane ticket, showed up to Dallas. And guys, she hit bronze on the 10th of the month, the 10th. She wasn't anywhere close to bronze the month prior, but she hit it on the 10th of the month. That is the power of what the events will do. Of course, Jake kind of dropped some hints of, promos and comp plan and this and that, all these things that are coming, but there's a belief factor that you cannot recreate behind a Zoom, behind, a screen. Like, I can't wait to hug and see many of you guys in person here in just a few weeks, because we'll be able to say, this is not like Zoom. When we see Jake on stage, it's not going to be like Zoom. And so that experience not only elevated Lolo, but it elevated her team. And she has been one of the fastest tracks, in Q, hitting silver in record time as well. And like I said, now back at Silver Summit for a second time with someone with her, guys. That's what events do for your business. But there is one other thing I will even say, just on a personal note. I don't even know if I would be here today if I never attended my first event. I thought I knew what Q Sciences was about. I thought I understood the mission that we're on and the community that we're a part of, but I truly didn't feel it until I got in a room and I got to meet the people. And I'm telling you, it was scary showing up to that first event, feeling kind of like a loner because I didn't know everyone just yet. You're like the new kid on the block, right? But now event to event, there's names like flooding in this chat box where I'm like, I can tell you the exact event that I met them at, the friendship that's formed, people that aren't even within our organization that I just love to go back to convention to see, because these are my friends. Britt Hitch, she's my friend. we met through an event, guys. So please get your butt in a seat. You will not regret it. Bring a couple people with you. Maybe set a goal of 5 people and surprise yourself with 12 and watch what happens 30, 60, 90 days out of that event. And you'll be looking back again thinking, what the heck just happened? So thanks, Britt, for letting me on and getting to share.
Oh, thank you, Katie. That everything she said, you guys, that's it. They are magic. Mariel, hi, my friend. The queen is here. Say hello.
I just have to say one thing. Her sponsor quit. So if she hadn't come to an event, what would have happened? So sometimes you also need to understand who the next person is, right? So you make those own personal phone calls, because had I not scooped her up, right? I'm not taking any credit. I'm just saying.
Oh, you should.
I'm just saying, hey, sometimes you don't bring in the rock star, right? I say she's a tiny mama, but she's mighty, mighty mama. You guys will see when you meet her. You won't believe how short she is.
I'm a little shorter than TV screens.
You also see people's heights at events. It's pretty shocking. Anyhow, just for fun. Love you.
That's so true. You never know who you're going to meet and who you're going to scoop up. You guys, I was so grateful that before my first convention, I was prepared. I was prepped because the people who had done what I wanted to do, they were mentors in my life. They told me what I needed to do and how to get there. And I was, remember, unwilling to stay in my current situation. So I was willing to do whatever it took. So if these people told me, you got to get to convention and you have to bring your whole team, that was my mission. That was what I was laser focused on. I said, they said I need to do it. I need to do it. So you guys, I will never forget. I was maybe 3 months into this business, and Kristen Wyatt, who is nowhere in my upline, she got on a call with my team and she cast this crazy, amazing vision. I like have goosebumps thinking about that call. I'll never forget it. She cast this vision of what was going to happen because of what she had already seen happen. I couldn't unhear what she said. I ran with it. I got as many people on my team there as possible, and everything she said happened. That month, I double ranked. Multiple people on my team double ranked, like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, that's exactly what she said was going to happen. And it did. And it just backfilled all of the things that I was told. And it made me believe even more. So that's why I am here drilling this into you, beating a dang dead horse on how important this is. So what I'm going to bless you with is our resident hype woman. You guys, if you know her, you know. If you don't, you need to know her. You guys, Kristen Wyatt is a mentor to all in Q. She has been here for 4.5 years. I am so grateful to have her in my life. And I just asked her if she would just reshare what she shared with my team a couple years ago, because it had the greatest impact on me, on them, and what we have done here. So Kristen, thank you so much for being here and for sharing.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Hi guys. This is so crazy. You would think, Britt and I were just talking about this, that it wouldn't be nerve-wracking because we're just on Zoom. This is really nerve-wracking. There are so many people on here. It's okay. More people are hopping off. It's fine. Just get off right now. Okay. No, I am actually really excited to share with you guys, because what's so crazy to me, and I will tell you guys a quick story of what happened to me that I know will happen again, happens every time, but specifically at this convention. Because I'll be honest with you, when I shared that with Britt, it was later in the year when she joined. So it was an early like winter fall convention. So we have 2 a year. And like it was the earlier of the year convention. And usually that one is really big. But historically speaking, over the course of, my time with Q, I'm a few days away from my 4-year anniversary, which is wild. Historically speaking, always the end of the school year or end of the summer, early fall convention is always the biggest event of the year. And so what she experienced in the beginning of the year at our winter convention or late fall, it really pales in comparison to what's about to happen next month. And what I will share with you guys is that still to this day, the production and everything that comes out of it and the comp plan enhancements and all of that are great. But still to this day, when I am at convention, I need it. I needed this last convention, you guys. My family needed this last convention. I had a weight on me that I was carrying throughout that convention that I couldn't really shake or figure out what it was. And it was released. Did you guys know my screensaver on my home screen to this day is a few lines that Jake said in his closing talk at our last convention? It's on my cover photo because it made that big of an impact. It's really why, and I'm not saying it's even about this or health or whatever, but what was released there allowed me to tackle one of the big F's of the 5 F's that I've been neglecting since I came because it runs so deep in me, which is the fitness F. I've lost 45 pounds since the last convention. And it's not just because I didn't look good before, because trust me, I did. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't even about that. It was that I needed to tackle some serious stuff. And that convention unlocked it. Just a few lines that were said. The right person at the right time, whatever. I talk to Jake all the time. It's different. When I tell you it's different, it's different. But let me take you back. Come back with me really quickly to 2018, because I was a lot like all of you guys that commented. I was the Lolo. I had just joined August 3rd, 2018, and Jake Spencer told me I had to go to convention in September. Well, I left my previous company. They turned off my paycheck. I couldn't pay my rent, had no money in savings, had back owed taxes, things in collections, and had no idea how I was going to pay my bills. Literally. And we didn't have weekly pay. So I was just like, waiting for payday. Like, hey, thank God my paycheck hit. I did good my first month. I hit the rank of bronze by the skin of my teeth. I ended at 10,001 in volume. Thank you, Dad, for deciding to join me. And I ended at bronze, super excited. Got my paycheck August 15th or September 15th, which because we had to wait that long to get paid. And oh, thank God, paid some of my bills, still had to put some bills behind, still had all my credit cards were maxed out, but I had enough money to put aside. We pushed a bill back, hoping something wouldn't get shut off because he told me I had to be at convention. So I got to be at convention. And he said it wasn't going to be the hype fest my last company was like. He said it was actually tangible business training, and I had to be there if I wanted to make up my check, really. And I took that seriously because, as I know now, 4 years later, he does not lie. So thank God I trusted him, and I went, and I used a little bit of money to go, and like, thank goodness for FFM was going to help me out after that. So I was super excited when I came to convention in September. It was September 24th and 25th, the Change event in Phoenix, Arizona. The whole room was about the size of the last convention's Bronze Academy. It was really, really little, just hundreds, no thousands. And we had tables even in front of our chairs, like the whole room. It wasn't even like lined chairs. Everybody had a table because there was so much room. And I went. I was super excited because I had maintained my rank. I maintained bronze in the middle of the month, like on the 20th. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was so excited to just re-hit bronze because, again, didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. I'm like, thank God I didn't just like fluke and then fall backwards. And then the event happened. It was the 24th, and I actually had blown past bronze a little bit. I was at 14,000 in volume. Okay. Can you guys imagine, like those of you guys who would love to hit the rank of bronze, you guys just know it's like my favorite rank because it's like, what the heck? I'm almost making $2,000 a month. Like, can you imagine? Trust me, it's amazing. Do whatever you can to get to bronze because it's just insane. Plus Bronze Academy and blah, blah, blah. Another training for another day. Anyways, moving on. So I'm bronze, 14,000, and Friday comes around. You know how Jake, I wrote it down. He said this year he's doing all the announcements from 9 to 12 on Friday. In the past, he's always done them at 4 p.m. He closes the event Friday with the big announcements, whatever they might be. He's doing them earlier in the day. So watch out for that. But it was the end of the event. He released the new products. He released FFM for the first time because we only got paid 3 ways when I joined. He released a little bump in customer commissions. And we were just freaking insanely jazzed. We had done the work. I had worked so hard that previous month exposing new people to Q. That was all I was doing because I was new. I lost my voice. I could barely talk because I was just constantly telling everybody how excited I was that I found this new company and you got to come to this Zoom with these other people who are going to talk and not me. That's all I did. Exactly our system. I still do it now to this day. That's all I did. So I was exposing. Me and my team created a whole VIP list of like people who wanted to know about the products coming and everything. And we built up stamina and we were so excited. So products were released. We were excited. I sent out messages to my VIP list and none of us really even left the room because we were all just there. The music was on, the lights was on. We were just sitting there and excited or whatever. And then my friend behind me was like, oh my gosh, I think I just hit executive. And I'm like, what? Like, that's freaking exciting. She was kind of new too. You know, she joined me and I'm like, oh my God, we're so excited. And here I am being my personality, like making a little picture for her. I'm like, graphics time. Because what else do I have to do? You know, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to celebrate your rank up. I'm so excited. And we're working. And a few other people, I got a customer and like, oh yeah, I got my order and blah, blah, blah. And then the same girl was like, this is like 30 minutes go by. And she's like, hey, Kristen, how much is it elite? And I'm like, 4,500, I think, maybe 4,000. Who knows? What are we even doing? Because I was new. And she's like, I think I just hit elite. And I'm like, you're probably not balanced. I think there's a balance thing. I don't know what a leg is yet, but there's something having to do with that. So let's just roll with it. What is it? We look at it. She had hit elite. And I'm like, are we doing something wrong? Like, how did you just hit executive 30 minutes ago? And now you're elite. So I'm like, now I have more graphics to make. And then this person was like, I just hit elite. And then this person was like, I just hit executive. This person was like, I just hit builder. And we were like, what's happening? What's happening? I only had like 15, 20 people with me there, which is a lot for how new I was. My upline in the back of the room was like, Kristen. And I was like, what? And she was like, have you looked at your back office? And I'm like, no, because I'm making graphics. Hello, priorities, people. And she's like, pull up your back office. I looked, I had blown past silver in 2.5, maybe hours. I was at 28,000 in volume. I started bawling. I called my husband because we were like, can you imagine if we hit silver $4,000 a month? Like, does anyone make that much money in life? Like, dead. That was insane to me. Gold was like, ha, what a joke. Gold, good one. Silver was like the thing to hit because holy crap, who makes 4,000 a month in MLM, right? I hit silver. I called my husband. He was at a baseball game. My dad had taken him, and there was literally a fireworks show going on at the baseball game because it was a Friday night and fireworks were going on. And I'm like, I hit silver. He was like, what? I hit silver. He was like, I don't know what silver is. What does that even mean? And I'm like, we are making $4,000 next month. And he started tearing up, and my dad was there, and there were literally fireworks. You could have filmed this crap. I'm not kidding you. And then it just kept going and kept going. I went to the front of the room. I introduced myself to Brandon and Judy Stevens. They were sitting there and they knew my name. They were like, yeah, Kristen White, whatever. And I'm like, what? And then I got this video. And if I can find it in just a second, I'm going to literally play it for you guys. I got this video. Somebody texted me on my phone, and I got this video, and I didn't know the number. And I'm like, oh, creeper text alert, but I'm going to find it really quick because I had it saved for you guys. I just have to show you. Hang on. Don't leave me yet. Trust me. This is going to be good. And I finished that month, you guys. We left there in a haze. I was with so many people on my team winning. I had so many people there beside me hitting Builder Pro, Executive, you name it, for the first time. I have to find the video. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, you guys. This is that important though. I have to show you. And guys, guess what? I ended that month. Here's my folder. This is all, okay, you ready? I'm gonna play it for you guys really quick. Hang on.
Yo, Kristen White.
Congratulations!
Woo! Way to go!
You rock, Kristen!
Yeah, baby.
Go get him, baby!
Mary Ellen Frank found my phone number, and they were walking in the hallway with Kelly Allred and texted me congratulations because I had hit freaking silver, and there were only a handful in the entire company. Guys, I went home that month. I worked my tail off, and because of the momentum and the energy that came off of that event, my team ended at 46,500, just shy of gold. I hit gold the next month. I hit platinum the next month, and I landed a spot on the very first advisory council group the company had ever seen, all because of that event. Now, it's been a few years. I've seen this happen over and over. That event and what happened was not a one-off. That event was a compound effect of everything in me with my back up against the wall, willing to do the work leading up to the event and stop at nothing to get me and my team there because Jake Spencer told me I needed to be there. And I am so glad I trusted him because it changed everything for me. And we were very, very quickly and easily and swiftly able to make up the money that I spent to go there, even though we were in an Airbnb with 20 people with no AC and the toilet was broken. We did what we had to do. We just got a big loaf of bread and some turkey and we're like, call it good. We're fasting, I guess. Here we go. Like, we did whatever we had to do, and it completely set me up for my career in Q Sciences. So if you even have a thought that you would like to make $500 a month, let alone $4,000 a month, just know this could be the thing that unlocks whatever you need. and unlocks that F of the 5 Fs that you've been holding back on, that propels you in the right direction, maybe not even in your business, but in your marriage or in your fitness journey like me, because that's how Q freaking Sciences rolls. We help you progress in all areas, and whatever area you need, that's what you'll find at convention. So thank you so much, Britt, for letting me share. I'm sorry it took me for a while to find that video, but I wanted to share that with you guys.
Don't you dare apologize. That story needs to be shared and reshared and reshared. But speaking of what you were just saying, I have to tell you like a 2-minute story, and then I will for real let you guys go. Kristen was talking about how she had neglected one of the 5 Fs and how something clicked at the last convention to propel her. And I don't know if you guys have been watching her, but she's literally changed her life. I was just up at my retreat at the lodge earlier this month. And there was a leader there on my team. And I think that she is pro. She's hit the 2nd rank in our company. And we had a chat one night, and she told me that it was at a convention, probably back in September, the first one. I don't remember which convention it was, but it was at a convention. She heard Jake say from the stage that you will not accomplish anything of significance, anything in this business, if your F for family is not in order, if it's not in check, if things are not good on the home front, forget about the business for now, because that takes priority. And it was that simple line, you guys, that changed everything. She came to me, she was in tears. Her and her husband were on the brink of divorce. They had the papers. They were calling it quits. And because of what Jake said, she literally said that it saved her marriage, and they are thriving now. I have goosebumps. I want to cry, because has she made $4,000 in this business yet? No. But she said, I came here for a reason. And right now, the reason is that it saved my marriage. I know the money's going to come. And I have no doubt that the money is going to come. But that's what I love about Q, is that those 5 Fs are so important, and we actually care about them. We're not blowing smoke. So you've heard it from all of us. If you don't have your ticket, we're telling you, you need to be there. You need to be there because it really is that important. If you feel like there is no way, let's find a way. Let's find you a hotel room to crash in, an Airbnb. We can get some Uncrustables. We can order some pizza. We can make it happen, because it is just that important for you to be there. If you are already going, I want you to take this and now go bring people with you. Don't invite people on your team. You need to take people with you, because it's that important. You want them there. It starts with you being there. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I hope that you go make a list, you go call people, and you go find people to bring with you. You go find a way to get yourself there. And you guys, we will see you there in 28 days. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.